On this episode of Cold Blooded Cousins,
we go looking for the green python.
We're heading up to Iron Range National Park and Lockhart community in far north Queensland to search for one very special green python. On our way up, we spotted different pythons related to the green python, a coastal carpet python, which is in the Morelia family.
Convince him that I'm not a predator. How's this? I mean, these coastal carpet pythons get quite large, but this is only my second Queensland carpet python. The first one we found was in Brisbane and it had quite nice colours and it was only really small.
and it was 11 years ago too.
Yeah, so that's how long it's been. But typical of the coastal Queensland is they got that pretty dull colour. He's got feathers on him.
Yeah, he has. He's just had a bird. He's just eaten a bird. That's hilarious.
Had a bit of a tussle with the bird.
Yeah, he's just had a meal.
It's very windy, but it's still good for snakes. These snakes are a lot more common up in Queensland. They're very common in people's backyards and in roofs. At least they eat all the rats in the house. And maybe birds.
We gently moved this guy far away from the road in the direction he was heading. The next day, we flip some tin and find another species of python.
Just down here on the ground, we've got a spotted python. Now, spotted pythons are closely related to Stimson's pythons, children's pythons, pygmy pythons, part of the Antarrhiza genus. And this is quite a young one. There's a bit of crossover between the Stimson's python and the spotted python in this area. Let's see what we can get under this bit. Oh wow, there's a binosed gecko, but even more exciting, that is a mature female Strenus on an egg sac. Just hold on a sec, I just want to check for snakes. No snakes. No. Have a look at this. This is a full-size Australian bird-eating spider or Australian tarantula. Oh. I'm particularly in love with this species, Phlogius strenus. I used to have one as a pet. It's passed on a couple of years ago, but it's what really made me fall in love with spiders.
Now these spiders are one of the biggest spiders in Australia. They're related to the Goliath, which is slightly bigger.
The Goliath is more of a rainforest species, whereas this is more a dry woodland species found up here on Cape York Peninsula.
And you can notice that big egg sac there. That's how we can tell she's a female, but just look how thick those legs are. That's another indication that it's a female. Now they usually have giant burrows, but underneath this tin it's a great shelter for it. So it doesn't need to burrow. It's the right temperature under this tin, underneath a tree. And look at next to him, or her, sorry. There's some sort of wolf spider there. Now that wolf spider is probably food for this big girl, but she won't be eating now because she's got to look after these eggs. So we'll just leave her alone, get a few photos and be happy with that. That's awesome. Just got this velvet gecko. We'll move off the road.
Oh, that's a northern velvet.
Yeah, beautiful.
Lovely. I haven't seen one of these before. Sorry mate, you're in the way. We're trying to get to our camp.
Just look at those beautiful colorations there. We're just going to let him go underneath some rocks where he belongs. Now they're called velvet geckos because their skin feels very smooth. It's a very strange feeling. And the velvet gecko family have striking colours.
What a beautiful tail. Awesome.
As we enter Iron Range, it turns from dry woodland to rainforest. We make our way up to the coast, where we set up camp at Chili Beach. We spend a week filming here and around Lockhart. After exploring the beach, we head back to the rainforest to see what bird life we can film. We don't see any eccollectus parrots, so we film other birds, but one eccollectus teases us with its calls high up in the canopy.
He's gone.
He's still there. Ah, he keeps jumping down. Ooh.
We then spot a very special bird way up in the canopy.
See?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's a palm cockatoo!
He's looking at her. See her on camera?
As nightfall comes to the rainforest, we get ready to search for our target species. But first, we have to get through this stuff.
Still caught on way to whale. That's why they call it way to whale. A vine with lots of thorns. Makes it hard for walking throughout this forest area. Maybe there's some green tree pythons this way.
Here we have two white-lipped tree frogs. You can see why they call them tree frogs. This one's eyeing off this one.
So camouflage in the rainforest is one of the best defences you can have. We've been trying to look for a green snake in all this dense green foliage, and we saw this gorgeous white-lipped tree frog. Kyle started to walk towards it to get a photo, and he actually tripped over, and as he tripped over he looked on the ground and he saw this. It's probably a lot easier to see because unusually it's on the ground. Normally they're hanging in trees. But just goes to show you, camouflage is important when you live in the jungle. Much easier to see on the ground. This is our first green tree python. So the green tree python is only found in this tiny patch of rainforest. They're also found in New Guinea and West Papua, parts of Indonesia. But yeah, in Australia they're only found in this tiny patch of rainforest up at Iron Range. Unfortunately, these guys have been hit hard by poachers in recent years. They're such beautiful snakes, one of the most beautiful snakes in Australia. So unfortunately, their major threat is actually from humans who apparently love these animals. If you do get a green tree python, because they are a beautiful species, please get a captive bred one. This way it doesn't impact on the local population here at Iron Range.
There's plenty of food for a snake in the rainforest. Nearby the python there was a rat. Being such a good climber is a huge advantage for the snake to find its prey, like birds sleeping high up in the canopy at night.
What an awesome animal. It's time to go. We got some unusual bat up here. Some black one, maybe it's a black fruit bat, maybe it's some other species up in the far north. Trying to feed it some fruit.
Looks so bizarre on camera. He's got like a beard. Here we have a Papuan frogmouth. related to the tawny frogmouth. Looks a bit different.
We've got a stick insect, not using its camouflage to full effect. Heaps of invertebrates out tonight in the rainforest. Oh, have a look at this. This has to be the biggest boigo or brown tree snake that I've ever seen. He's got a tick on the back of his head too.
It is the king of all brown tree snakes. It is.
It's probably that's probably 1.5 meters.
I thought it was a baby scrubby at first.
Yeah.
I love the rainforest. You can find all kinds of fruit. Perfectly ripe too, it's delicious. Check this out, we've got a scrub python on the road. This is my first scrub python. And it's just a baby, look how small it is. Now he's just sitting here warming up, so he's not going to get off the road, so I'm going to just help him off the road and move him off to the side. Now I have heard these guys are notoriously bitey, but I'll give it a go, see how we go. And they're very good climbers too. So they can get up nice and high to the birds and bats that live up high in the trees that feed on the fruit. But this is just a very, very, very small example of one. But still, a scrub python nevertheless. They've also been known to be called the Amistine python because they got that nice shine to them. Now these snakes have been known to get up over 5 meters, which is massive for an Australian snake. But now and then people come across them.
Here's some photos of some larger model scrubbies we have moved off the road. Steve's fairly tall, and this one's longer than him. One huge scrubby was found recently by Queensland police crossing a road.
Quite gentle. Move him up into this bamboo. He just saved his life, a car just drove past, so pretty good. A brown tree snake in the shape of a taipan.
G'day mate, what you doing? Curious little fella.
Maybe it's a female.
Yeah. I think it is a female.
The snake thinks Stephen's a tree.
Yep. Maybe even as big as the one yesterday. 1.5 meters. Good taipan habitat, in fact. They're burning off here. No, I can't see anything. So we just found this dead snake, pretty sure it's a taipan. It's a bit upset.
That's a taipan, alright.
Look at that head on it.
This happens to us a lot. Searching for a target species to only find it dead on the road because someone couldn't slow down or drive around it.
Just been flipping tin and found, I believe this is a albino gecko, but it looks, never seen one with a tail like that. Might just be a weird regenerated tail, though it doesn't look regenerated. Who knows? We've just got a Purina on the road. I think it's a brown-headed snake, not 100%. First time I've seen this species. I've seen species of Purina up in Western Australia, but first time with this one. I believe it's endemic to the north part of the Cape.
I thought it was a mulga snake at first. First thing I seen is these scales.
Yeah, I'll just move him off the road. He's don't want him to get hurt. All right, we've got another brown-headed snake here, Purina tristis. It's about 10 minutes after we saw the last one, so they seem to be on the move at the moment. Just hanging out on the road. Chilling, not killing. What an absolutely cute animal. How could you not love that? Look at his little feet. So basically he thinks my car tyre is just a nice rock or log to hide under. But nah, it's not the safest place to hide, sorry mate. See that? Lots of black hairs. Alright, finally managed to dislodge him, took 2 of us. Look at him, there's a little ball of echidna.
Cheeky bugger. Alright, let's get him off the road.
What a funny little echidna. Alright. Alright, off you go mate. See you later. So we are checking out these war bunkers from World War II, built to stop the invading Japanese forces if they reached the Cape. Now they're all abandoned in the rainforest. See what wildlife we can find. There's a bunch of bats. Bat and a gecko hanging out again, different species of bat. Leaf-nosed bat, that's what they are.
You would seriously not be able to spot this with a plane.
No.
It just looks like a rocky outcrop.
I think that's the idea. So up in this tree we've got a beautiful northern tree snake. It's a green colour form. Absolutely spectacular. Now it's a Dendrolaphus, which includes the bronzeback snakes of Southeast Asia. Now they're frog eaters, they're rear-fanged colubrid snakes, and they come in a variety of colours. This one's kind of a teal blue, and it's actually changed its colour a little bit since we first saw it. Teal sort of greeny blue colour. It's really pretty.
Off he goes.
Into the grass.
To join the taipans. Now this is taipan country. It's grassy woodland.
Big Baroness panoptes. Yellow spotted monitor. See him puffing that throat out? That's a sign of defense. It's got a forked tongue like a snake. It's very sensitive to smell. Oh, have a look at this. This is the great Morinda, or cheese fruit as it's better known. So cold because it smells like rotten blue cheese. But here's the thing, I like blue cheese. I like it a lot. So I'm going to give this a try. It's said to be one of the more gross bush tuckers. It's also a bit spicy like mustard apparently. So let's get into it. Seeds. Gotta spit the seeds out.
Does it taste like it smells? Mmm.
Oh, I just swallowed a bit. Oh. I tried really hard to like the cheese fruit.
It just goes to show if it smells bad.
Look,
it
I
probably
think it
tastes
would
bad.
make a good salad dressing maybe, or something exotic, but by itself, ugh.
Alright, so we're just driving along this road here, looking for green pythons on the side of the road, and yeah, we were lucky enough to spot one. They do actually stand out, and if you can just see over here, there's a green tree python in the ambush position. What he's doing there is waiting for some food to come past him. In the strike position there, that's how they hunt. Now you can see why these guys are good tree climbers. He's climbed right up this tree.
The green python has really long sharp teeth. This is so it can hold its food upside down as it dangles in the canopy. Very different to most pythons, green pythons caudal lure their prey. They wiggle the tip of their tail to make it look like a worm to attract their food. Also fairly unique to green pythons is their ability to coil and rest on the smallest branch. They like it so much, branches are a must-have in captivity, otherwise they don't feel safe. When baby green pythons hatch from an egg, they can come out in amazing colours, the most common being yellow. The children's book Virdis is about a young green python that has to accept changing from yellow to green as it grows older. In real life, most green pythons turn green as they get older. Steve and I read this book as little kids, and from then on we have wanted to see one in the wild. Finding 2 adult specimens in the wild was a mission success, and now it's time for us to look for other animals.
We've got another road rescue. Whoa! And he's not happy. Not happy about it at all. This is a spotted python. Fairly small as far as these guys go. And grumpy as anything. Very pretty colours though. Or very pretty patterns I should say. Look at his head. These dots make him look like an adder or something venomous. Got a little frilly here, just on this termite mound. Now we're in the drier parts of Cape York in the woodlands. They're not found in the rainforest, but they are quite common out here in the arid interior of Cape York. Now you might barely be able to see, but he's got a little frill on him. He's quite a young one, this one, maybe only a year old, if that. The adults grow to about 30 centimetres, not including the tail. He's got quite pretty markings around his eyes and quite vividly patterned. They sometimes they dull up as they age, and often you won't see them because they'll be up a tree. They like to perch on trees a lot too. And as you walk past, they'll crawl around to the opposite side of the tree, so you won't see them, but they are quite common.
Just found a lovely creek to swim in. Nice clear water.
The water's so shallow here, you don't need to worry about crocodiles.
There's flesh-eating bugs in the water.
Ooh.
They eat your eyeballs.
Oh, that's so good.
This is croc country, and we don't recommend swimming anywhere up here, including the ocean or even small creeks. This crystal clear creek can still have crocodiles, but this part is so shallow it should be safe.
God, that feels.
When we were looking for green pythons at a nearby creek, we did spot the eye shine of a slightly larger saltwater crocodile. Time to move on from Chili Beach, and we do a bit of four-wheel driving to find a new camping spot.
Of course, bush tucker's not always jumping in the air. It's not always hard. Sometimes it's dead easy. Look at that.
Mangoes everywhere.
If you can't tell, we're both crazy about mangoes. Ooh, that one's ripe.
After a bit of four-wheel driving, we reach our destination, and what an amazing view we get of the Pacific Ocean.
the local mob have been nice enough to give us this little lean-to sort of old shelter to camp in. It's very nice, keeps the heat off, so better than nothing, that's for sure.
So we're just trying to make a fire here, and we're not even herping. I just lifted this rock and there's a Delmar legless lizard here.
Soon after, we find another species of legless lizard.
Couple of Burtons they found under tin next to each other, under two bits of tin next to each other, and they look really different, particularly with the head markings on this one. We're wondering if it's a male and female, but we're not really sure.
Look at that nice rusty tin colour.
Yeah.
This one's just standard Burtons with a nice stripe on the face.
Yeah. Trying to start the fire by spark. Just got to get the sparks in just the right place. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult overhead. Oh look, it's worked perfectly. Easier than it looks.
The main goal for us on this trip was to have an adventure. We set off looking for bush tucker, and while Steve is gathering a couple of fresh coconuts, this fence skink is really curious. When we go camping, Steve and I try to live off the land as much as we can. Doing this hones our connection to the environment, and after a while you start to notice things in the bush that you never really would have. We find doing this also helps find way more wildlife. It's hard to explain, but the longer in the wild you are, the more wild you become.
Big stingray washed up on the beach. It's got a few shark bites out of it. Bush tucker, Kyle? Bush tucker?
Too rotten.
Yeah, I'll pass. Low tide is a great time to look for bush tucker. So we got an oyster here. It's low tide. All these rocks are exposed and they've got these big black lip oysters. They're the really nice ones. Got it. That's good oyster. Here's another one. Nice big one.
Really good, this one. Oh, that's a good oyster. Real salty. They're quite large.
Now that is the definition of bogged. This track's been here a while. Might be some mud crabs around it.
Tide's coming in. Just looking for mangrove monitors. It's great habitat for them.
We've just seen a very fresh track from a crocodile. We'll have a look at that in a minute. This track is made by a saltwater crocodile and it's fresh as. There we go. There's a stingray he's been feeding on. Crocodile in the ocean. Got a little visitor here on my swag. I think it's a Kalia. Some kind of skink. Beautiful bright orange tail. What did you say they were, Kyle?
I can't remember. Some type of rainbow skink.
Alright, well, I need to go to sleep now, so go away.
Huh?
That's a spotted monitor.
I like a Scalaris.
Scalaris.
Yeah, it looks Scalaris.
Oh, that's full zoomed in, but
A very quick Scalaris though. It looks exactly like a Scalaris.
Okay.
This is a spotted tree monitor, a fairly small goanna, and they usually are quick to run up to the nearest tree and climb up really high. They're hard to get film of.
Whoa! How pretty is this snake? Just heading to Cooktown and we spotted this guy on the side of the road. Looks like a venomous snake, but this is actually a harmless tree snake.
That's a really pretty snake.
They're beautiful snakes. You can see why they call them tree snakes. He runs straight to the trees.
Runs?
Slithers. Walks. Flies. It's really quick. It's very warm today.
Well, sadly our trip has come to an end. We get a flat battery and have to head back down south to Cairns. But from my experience in Cape York, it was amazing, and I would really love to go back. We hope you guys enjoyed the adventure, and stay tuned for more wildlife adventures coming soon.